There is a common theme that happens when there is a famous person in the Christian music industry, famous pastor, famous evangelist, things that come out later after these people pass, or it might be if they're still alive, they lived in sexual sin or they were involved in any kind of sin. The common theme is you find that out and then you're disappointed. Man, that's when I really started to follow Jesus, after I heard this person's message. That should be celebrated instead of being a huge disappointment. The way that God drew you to himself, it doesn't mean that God didn't use those messages to get to you, and that God didn't use those people or those circumstances to reach out to you. An example of Michael Tate, that I feel like you didn't really feel God's presence at this concert just because he was living a double life. It has nothing to do with Michael Tate. It was all about God, all about God's glory, no matter what the circumstances were, because God does that. God is more powerful. My husband's testimony is a great example of that. There was a revival at our church. It's a very questionable revival because it focused more on the outside of a person than on the inside, like restoring hair growth and weight loss. There's jewels under your chairs. Yeah, just salvation was kind of thrown in here and there, but it wasn't the main focus. For my upbringing, I didn't think anything of it. Like I thought it was all God. Since then, I've reconstructed my faith and have gone away from that kind of teaching. But God used this revival to get my husband's attention anyway. My husband was not a Christian. He believed in God. He knew he probably existed. That was the most of that. I invited my husband to this revival 3 times, and he never wanted to come. The last night that he finally showed up, he had been camping with some friends before that, and he had a really bad sunburn on his back. Like, it was almost purple. Sat through everything. He listened to everything, saw all the craziness that was going on. This is also one of the things that is not biblical, that you give money to get something. God moved on my husband to put money into the bucket that was going by. Later on, I found out that this was the last of his money until his next payday for my husband just graduating basic training and getting that paycheck.